Imagine turning just $5 a day into a growing investment portfolio that makes money while you sleep. If you're new to investing and wondering whether small, consistent investments can truly build wealth, this video is for you. I'll break down my journey, the strategies I used, and what I learned so you can start your own investment journey with confidence. Let's dive in. Part 1. Why I started investing. Started investing because I wanted to take control of my financial future and break free from the misconception that investing is only for the wealthy or those with large sums of money. Like many beginners, I assumed that building wealth through investments required thousands of dollars up front, something that felt completely out of reach as a student trying to manage everyday expenses. However, as I began to educate myself about personal finance and read success stories of people who had started with modest amounts, I realized that this belief was nothing more than a mental barrier holding me back. Inspired by the idea of making my money work for me, I decided to test a simple strategy, redirecting small, seemingly insignificant amounts of money, like the $5 I would normally spend on coffee or fast food, into investments instead. Part 2. Choosing the right investment platform. Choosing the right investment platform was one of the most important steps in my journey, especially since I was starting small and needed a platform that catered to beginners with limited capital. I knew that if I wanted to make consistent progress with my investments, I needed a platform that would allow me to invest just a few dollars at a time without being penalized by high fees or complicated requirements. So I began researching various options that were both accessible and affordable for a novice investor like me. Platforms like Robinhood, Acorns, and M1 Finance quickly caught my attention because of their user-friendly interfaces, low or zero commission fees, and features specifically designed for beginners. Robinhood offered free trading on stocks and ETFs, which was appealing since I didn't want my gains to be eroded by transaction fees. Part 3. Understanding compound interest. Understanding compound interest was a game changer for me and one of the most powerful motivators behind my decision to start investing. The concept is simple but incredibly impactful. It's when your money earns returns, and those returns themselves start generating additional returns over time. Unlike simple interest, where you only earn interest on your initial investment, compound interest allows your investments to grow exponentially as both your principal and accumulated earnings continue to generate profit. This realization opened my eyes to the fact that investing small amounts consistently could yield impressive results over the long run. Instead of merely saving money or letting it sit idle in a low-interest savings account, I decided to put it to work through investments that offered the potential for compounded growth. Part 4. Deciding what to invest in. Deciding what to invest in was a critical step for me, especially as a beginner who wanted to keep things simple, low risk, and manageable. With so many options available, I knew it was essential to choose investments that matched my risk tolerance, financial goals, and level of expertise. Rather than trying to pick individual stocks, which can be risky and requires extensive research, I opted for index funds and ETFs, exchange-traded funds that offered built-in diversification. For example, I invested in broad market ETFs, like the S&P 500, which track the performance of the 500 largest publicly traded companies in the US. This approach allowed me to spread my risk across many different industries and companies, making it a much safer and more stable choice compared to putting all my money into a few individual stocks. Part 5. Dollar cost averaging. The secret to my success. One of the most powerful strategies I adopted early on was dollar cost averaging, DCA, and it quickly became the secret to my success. This simple yet effective approach involves investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, regardless of market conditions. By investing $5 every day, I was consistently putting money into the market, whether it was soaring to new highs or experiencing turbulent declines. Unlike those who attempt to time the market, an approach that often results in frustration and losses, I embraced the principle of focusing on time in the market rather than timing the market. The beauty of dollar cost averaging is that it removes the emotional aspect of investing. I wasn't paralyzed by fear during market dips or tempted by greed during bull runs. Instead, my small, regular investments allowed me to accumulate more shares when prices were low and fewer shares when prices were high, naturally averaging averaging out my cost over time. Part 6. Tracking my portfolio's growth. At first, my investment returns were small, but over time, I saw my portfolio steadily grow. By tracking my progress using investment apps and spreadsheets, I stayed motivated and made small adjustments when needed. Checking my portfolio daily would have been stressful, so I only reviewed it once a month to avoid emotional decision-making. Part 7. The power of reinvesting dividends. One major advantage of investing in dividend-paying stocks and ETFs is passive income. Instead of cashing out my dividends, I reinvested them to buy more shares, which helped my portfolio grow even faster. This strategy is key to building long-term wealth because it creates a snowball effect over time. Part 8. Handling market ups and downs. Handling market ups and downs has been one of the most challenging yet crucial aspects of my investing journey. When you invest consistently, especially through strategies like dollar-cost averaging, you inevitably experience periods where the market takes a nosedive, causing your portfolio's value to drop, sometimes drastically. I vividly remember the first time I faced a significant downturn. Watching my hard-earned money shrink in value was unsettling and made me question whether I was doing the right thing. The temptation to panic sell and cut my losses was strong, especially with all the negativity surrounding the market at that time. However, I reminded myself of the core principles I had committed to: staying patient, thinking long-term, and trusting the process. I understood that market dips are a natural and unavoidable part of investing. Historically, even the most severe crashes have been followed by periods of recovery and growth. Part 9. How much did I make after 1 year? After investing $5 a day for 365 days, I had invested a total of $1,825. Thanks to compound growth and market gains, my portfolio ended up worth over $2,100, a 15% increase. This might not seem like a lot, but imagine doing this for 5, 10, or even 20 years. The results can be life-changing. Part 10. What I learned and next steps. This experiment taught me a powerful and liberating lesson. Investing doesn't require a lot of money, just consistency, patience, and a commitment to the process. Before I started, I assumed that building wealth required large sums of money and extensive financial knowledge, but my experience proved otherwise. By investing as little as $5 a day, I discovered that the true secret to success lies in maintaining a steady and disciplined approach, even when progress feels slow or insignificant. Over time, those small, consistent contributions compounded and began to grow in ways I hadn't anticipated. It also became clear to me that the biggest mistake beginners make is waiting too long to start, often held back by the misconception that they need to save up a large amount before investing. The reality is that time in the market is far more valuable than timing the market, and even small amounts can grow substantially over the years through the power of compound interest. If you've been waiting to start investing, this is your sign to take action. Even small daily investments can lead to massive long-term wealth. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to start now and stay consistent. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more investing tips and financial strategies. Let's build wealth together.